Hey there, today I'm going to plant a couple things in the garden and just talk about what's changed in the garden since the last time I was here. Well, for one thing, we had a big frost, so the let's see what was left. Oh, the only thing that really died that I had left was the straw flowers. So I had a couple straw flowers, and I think that frost just killed the leaves and the whole thing just died. So what did survive in the garden, let me look, I have a list. The snapdragon survived. I think all the blooms fell off, but the leaves are still like alive. Well, and before I forget, this is important. Well, one thing I want to do today is just a small little winter sowing experiment. I have done winter sowing before. I have made like a shorts video about that probably last year. I'm not going to do a whole lot of winter sowing this year, but if I remember correctly, Echinacea was a good one. Like, I had success with this, since sometimes they need to go through like a cold period. So I'm going to try to do Echinacea today. And then another thing, if I have time, I'm going to plant some crimson clover just in one little area over here. I've got some on the other side that I planted, and they germinated and they're doing fine, and they survived like the cold. I think it was 20, or like the wind chill was like 15. So the crimson clover right here, I'm gonna plant a few of those today. So the other things that survived were the Shasta daisies. Those are behind me, which I already knew that they would. I planted those a couple years ago. That's a perennial, and then they bloomed for me the first time this year. And so I cut those back, I think in November, just cut them down, and the leaves have done fine. So I've still got foliage, green foliage on the Shasta daisies. So a few Echinacea are still, like, you can see the leaves, but several of them, the leaves died back. But from experience from last year, the leaves will die back. I mean, you will barely even see anything left on the plant, and then when the spring comes, the leaves will start to grow back on those. I really kind of wanted to do like a reflective video, which I've kind of already done one of those this month, at the beginning of the month, of how, like, all the things that have happened in the garden from the time that I started in really mid-February this year till now. And so I'll try to I'll share the link for that, or so you can check that out. But I also wanted to kind of talk about like what did work and what didn't work, but I don't really have time to do that today, so I may do that in January. Just kind of go back and look through all the things that some of the things that I planted, the things that really were just extremely successful, some that were just kind of, not the best. Or let me say this, some that were extremely successful and then like normal, and then things that just failed that I probably won't do again. I have a few of those in mind, but I'll try to, recap that again at a later time. And then talk about maybe some seeds or plants that I bought that were, fairly successful. I'm going to just go ahead and I'll do that last. I'm going to go ahead and show you what I'm going to plant these Echinacea seeds in. So I'm going to plant those in a couple containers. I do not have tape that I want to put around those, so I'm going to get that later today, and either come back and show you today, or just to explain how I tape around those and then write the date on it before I get finished. These are the containers that I'm going to use. It's just like a gallon container that was tea. Just going to cut it right here. And this one's gonna be harder to cut, so I may have to take this one inside to cut it, but cut this one in half, but leave it attached in one little place. That way you can flip it open, and then I'm gonna put soil in it. I do need to poke some holes in the bottom of it, either with like a sharp tool or something, but I'm gonna do that, and then I'll be right back. I just have this little kitchen knife. So I poked a hole, like one hole right there already. This is the harder one to like, you gotta be careful. So yeah, I didn't have to like punch on that too hard. But you want it to be able to drain. Let's see, so I got 3 drain holes. That's 4. We'll do one more. Okay. That one's the harder one. Take the top off of this one. It still had tea in it. This one's just gonna be super easy. I don't know if you can see this, but I poked 4 holes in this one. This is easier to like puncture. It's also going to be easier to cut. So let's see. I'm going to leave it. I'm going to start cutting right here. So now I have it cut open. I'm gonna wash this out, but I've got this one cut open. I cut this one open too. I just went ahead and did that like off camera. If you can hear me. Yeah, so I left like a little attachment. Probably should have cut this one up a little bit higher, but it's okay. Now I'm going to just fill it with some potting soil. It's probably better to use seed starting mix, but if I were planting these in the ground, like if I were planting these echinacea in the ground, I would not use seed starting mix. So I'm going to use this. It's actually kind of chunkier garden soil. I made the mistake last year of planting, I think, too many seeds in one container, and then I had a hard time getting them out and separating them, and some of them ended up just not doing the best. I'm just taking out like any chunky sticks or bark, because this garden soil has like a lot of chunky parts to it, but it's fine. I mean, seed starting mix might be best, but I'm just going to use this because that's all I have. Until I get some more like containers, I'm going to plant probably 3 seeds in the tea gallon, and then probably 2 seeds in the juice. I think it's a half a gallon. Anyway, I don't want to over like crowd it. Well, now that I said that, here they are. I'm gonna actually plant a couple extra in case they don't germinate. They're very tiny purple seeds. Last year when I planted these, it was probably like January. Well, it was probably February. It could have been January or February. I'm not sure. I have to look back. So this is kind of an experiment. Let's see. it says cover with a 1/4 inch of soil. So anyway, it's an experiment. I'm going to see what happens. I do feel like they worked last year, but I'm going to try it again to see if I can get these to germinate. The other thing is I am going to get some tape. I don't have any right now. I'm going to use painter's tape because it's easy to get off. But I'm going to get some painter's tape, tape it all the way around a couple times, and write the name of the seed, and I'm going to write the date that I planted them. And before I do that, I'm going to water it, and then lightly, and then I'll be able to mist it through here if I need to, if it gets dry. Just poking the seeds down a little bit in the soil. Now that I finished that, I'm gonna leave that over here for a second and come over here. This is the little area. I was gonna plant them in the back, but I'm gonna move this screen. And I'm going to like add down some garden soil and try to put a few, I'm just gonna scatter these clover seeds, crimson clover seeds down in this area, and then I'm just gonna water it later. Trying to find somewhere to sit where the sun is not in my face. Okay, so I'm going to come back and I'll finish the winter sowing containers before the end of the day. Of course, like I don't think all seeds need to be winter sown. I mean, if it's a zinnia or a sunflower, you wouldn't want to like try to winter sow that right now, because unless you live somewhere that's warm year round. We do have some colder weather. I live in zone 8B, so it stays pretty warm, but we still have freezes that would kill something like that, and it's December. So I think you can kind of look at other videos about winter sowing. I just wanted to try this out since I've done it before, and then see what kind of plants are like ideally winter sown in your area. But anyway, it's still exciting to be able to like share what I'm doing in my garden in winter, because it's December, and this is probably the first year I've still had calendula. That was the other thing I didn't. The calendula survived that like hard freeze, but the leaves look different. They don't look as healthy. So I don't know. I think the leaves got a little bit damaged, but the plants didn't like die, so they're still there. They may still bloom when it gets warm, I'm not sure. But the other things like the snapdragons, my first year having those, first year having calendula all through the winter. It's my second year having crimson clover, and it's my second year having Shasta daisies. So each year that goes, I hope to be able to find more like cool season flowers, like perennials and annuals that will make it through like our winter and then still be growing the next year. So anyway, if you made it this far, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.